Hello everyone and welcome to iBasiac. Today I'm going to be doing a full demo and review of the Vax Air Revolve Pet vacuum cleaner. Here it is, rather an unusual looking machine. If you want to see me unbox it, there's a link below this. But if you want to see this demonstrated, this is the video to watch. So during the course of the video I'll take you on a quick tour of the machine, show you all the cleaning tools you get with it, and then I'm going to do some performance testing which involves cleaning up pet hair, then general dirt off carpets. I'm going to see how effective it is on hard floors, how easy it is to empty and maintain, and how convenient the machine is to use. So this is the machine in its storage mode, so it will stand on its end and you can actually attach the extension tube to one of the two holes on the top of the cleaner. So when you want to use the machine you can just lift off the tube, and you can either use the machine in this position if you want to, or you can use it in the horizontal position like that, and it will pull along via the two large wheels either side. As well as the main power head, which I'll show you in a minute, you get these other small cleaning tools for your above the floor jobs and your hard floors. Speaking of hard floors, this is a dedicated hard floor cleaner. Now you can use the power head on hard floors if you turn the brush roll off, but if you don't want to use the power head you can actually use this hard floor nozzle, which is basically a straight suction nozzle with a squeegee either side of the suction inlet. This is your dusting brush for doing your Venetian blinds, your shelvings, tops of skirting board, that sort of thing. It's quite a large nozzle. In fact, all the small cleaning tools do seem quite large and clunky. In fact, the whole machine, as you'll discover when I demonstrate it, it is quite inconvenient and it does just feel very clunky to use. But anyway, this is what we've got. So quite a nice soft dusting brush, an enormous crevice tool, but it's a nice length, so it'll get right down the side of your sofas. You can use it in the car, and you can also use it to reach up high, for example, to get those cobwebs. And finally you get this, which is a upholstery nozzle really. You can use it on your stairs if you want. You can also use it on your curtains. It's got litter pickers either side. This has been used, so it's got a few bits stuck to it. These red litter pickers are designed to cope with pet hair, etc. But again, it's quite a big clunky nozzle. This is the power head that comes supplied with the Vax Air Revolve Pet. What makes this power head a little bit different to most that you see on the market, this actually has an electric motor to drive the brushes rather than using the air from the vacuum cleaner to drive the brush like a turbo nozzle. So this means if the suction does drop off during use, the brush speed will remain constant. So as you can see, it's quite like an upright cleaner underneath. It's got these rows of brushes which are very vigorous, very stiff, and Vax claim an A rating for cleaning carpets with this machine. It also claims an A rating for hard floor cleaning using the hard floor nozzle, an A rating for energy use, and an A rating for dust emissions. So it's a quadruple A machine, which is basically the best rating you can get at the moment. So there we go, that's the brush roll. It's quite a good design because the brushes are designed to sweep the dirt and debris into the main suction channel, which is the middle of this nozzle. So all in all, I have actually found, before I do the demo, in normal use it does perform very well. This is the handle of the Vax Air Revolve, which incorporates an on-off switch, so you don't have to bend down to switch your machine on and off. It also includes a separate power button for the power nozzle, so you can use it with the brushes off for cleaning hard floors or turn the brushes on for deep cleaning carpets. You've also got a suction relief valve here, so you can turn the suction to minimum if you're cleaning lightweight rugs or carpets, or move it to maximum. It doesn't adjust the motor speed like on some models, it just opens a vent here so it reduces the suction at the cleaning head. The extension wand, like the rest of this vacuum cleaner, is quite big and clunky. You can adjust the height of it. You've got this control here, so you just put your hand on it, push it down, and then you can pull the handle up to extend or push it back down to retract it for storage. So you can basically find a height that's suitable for you. Here's the cleaner itself, and I'm sure you'll agree it's rather an unusual and striking design. It's all very well having an unusually designed vacuum, it's also got to perform well and it's also got to be convenient. By the end of this video we'll find out if it scores on those points too. But for looks, well, I'll certainly give it 10 out of 10. It really is an unusual looking machine. So it's called a multi-orientation cylinder because you can use it in various ways. First of all, to use it you pull out the cord, which is stored inside the machine, so it's got automatic cord rewind. So you can pull it right out, and then when you finish cleaning you can retract the cord with a touch of a button. This side is where all the dirt collects. It's a bagless machine, and on the front here there's a little lever you need to press in order to release the dirt bin, and out comes the dirt bin. Fairly small capacity. It's got 2 filters on this machine. Now I'm going to show you the filter now before I do the demonstrations, and after the demonstrations we're going to see how dirty the filter is, which will see how effective the cyclonic action is. Now of course I've used this machine so there will be some dirt. I have cleaned the filters using another vacuum, so it's pretty clean. And this is the other filter. You'll notice just in the middle of there is a little bit of dirt. That will come off if I was to wash the filters. Both the filters are washable, hand washable. Make sure they're thoroughly dry before using them again. So you'll see that there is a little bit of fine dust in the centre of that filter. So the sponge filter goes on first, and then this fabric filter goes on the top. When the machine is full, after you've removed it, you just press this button here, and in theory the little door should fall and you can empty the dirt out. This middle section, the shroud, you can twist that out in order to give it a good thorough clean from time to time. So when you've actually emptied the machine, you line up this arrow here with an arrow, well, not the arrow, you line the arrow up with this little green band. So we just put it in like this, push until it clicks. There, well, it's in, didn't click, but it's in there firmly. On the other side of the machine, this is your exhaust vent, so this is where the air vents out of. You've also got a retractable carry handle, so it makes it easy to carry up and down stairs. You can also use it, as I showed you at the start of the video, you can actually use it in this position, which is very good for stair cleaning. But when it's in this position, it will rotate all the way around, so you can put it in the centre of your room and clean all around it with the cleaner in that position, or you can actually hold the machine while you're cleaning. It depends what's easy enough for you. So that's it. That's the machine. Without any further ado, let's put some dirt down and see how well this cleaner performs. So my first test is carpet cleaning performance. Now on this carpet I've put down a load of dirt that I've saved up from various vacuum demos. So there's a lot of dust, there's pet hair, there's carpet fibres, bits of paper, all sorts of mess has been put down on this carpet. I'm going to pass the power nozzle through the middle of this mess, backwards and forwards, just to see how well it performs. I'm expecting it to do quite well. Vax are claiming an A rating for carpet cleaning performance. But I don't take Vax's word for anything, or any manufacturer. I want to see for myself. So I'm going to switch the machine on, turn on the power nozzle, make sure that the suction is on maximum, and we'll see how well it does. Now, this is one thing that I will say for this vacuum cleaner. There's a lot I don't like about it, but one thing it does well is carpet cleaning. As you can see, I walk down the middle of this, you can see that basically, apart from a few odd tiny bits near the edges of the nozzle, it has done an absolutely fantastic job at picking all this mess up. So it really is 5 out of 5 for carpet cleaning performance. Okay, I'm going to clean up the rest of this mess, and then it's on into the kitchen where I've put down a load of mess on my kitchen floor, and we'll see how well the Vax Air Revolve cleans that up. Now, before I continue with my demonstration on the kitchen floor, I'm going to have to empty this cleaner. I could tell that the suction was starting to reduce quite dramatically as I filled the machine. Now, this was an extreme test. I did put down rather a lot of dirt, so this wouldn't happen under normal circumstances, but it would happen eventually if you weren't to empty the machine in a timely manner. So, what I'll do is take out the bin, which is very, very full. Now I can actually see that dirt has actually passed through right into the filter. Now this is another negative of this cleaner. The filtration, the cyclonic action isn't great. Now that was clean only a few moments ago. Already there is a fine layer of dust on this filter, but when we look at the sponge filter, which is the first filter, and we look at the underside, now you can see, yes, I've done an extreme example, but eventually that's what would happen to your filter after many weeks of use, I expect. But it's showing you that the cyclonic action isn't very good. The filter is easy to clean though, and I'm going to use another vacuum cleaner to actually clean that rather than wash it, but you can see how much of the dirt has gone straight through that cyclone and straight onto the filter. So before I clean my kitchen floor, obviously I'm going to empty this bin. In fact, I'll probably empty this onto the kitchen floor, not all of it, and then I'll give the filters a bit of a clean and we'll have another go. Well, I'm in my kitchen now, and apart from some of the debris I picked up off the living room carpet, I've also put down on top of that some flour and rolled oats. So I'm going to use both nozzles. I'm going to use the power head with the brush turned off, and then I'm going to use the dedicated hard floor nozzle. Now, I think that's a pretty impressive result. It does tend to stick to this type of floor. This is a lino floor, and I've had trouble cleaning this before because it's not stuck down. If you're cleaning, say, a tiled floor or a laminate, you wouldn't get this problem. But I always find it's a problem with the cleaners I've tested, so I did actually have to reduce the suction slightly, but I still got, obviously, that's a pretty good result. That's more or less a clean sweep. So if you don't want to have to change the nozzles, you'd probably find that the power nozzle with the brush turned off will do a decent job. Okay, but because we get a dedicated hard floor nozzle with this machine, I'm going to test that on the other part of the dirt. So I'll just move the camera. So we'll use the other nozzle down the middle of this dirt here. So I've removed the power nozzle, and now I'm going to put the hard floor nozzle onto the end of the extension wand, and we'll see how well it performs. Again, I think I'll reduce the power, so it's on minimum suction, because otherwise I think it's going to stick fast to the floor. If it seems to work on minimum, I will try another part using it on maximum as well. Now it's pretty good. I'm not sure if it picked it up, but it did snowplow a bit. But once I tilted the nozzle back, it did pick everything up. And now I had to tilt the nozzle back. I wasn't trying to falsify anything, but the fact this nozzle isn't articulated, it's fixed, so you've only got one position you can hold this nozzle at. So if that position isn't comfortable for you, then, well, you're scuppered, I'm afraid. But all in all, that did a very good job, and I could see how much dirt it was pulling in, much beyond the ends of the nozzle. I mean, that's the width of the nozzle, and as you can see, the cleaned path is much wider than the nozzle, so the suction has actually drawn the dirt in from either side. So using this nozzle will be good for around the edges of your kitchen units, because it should pull some of the debris, for example, from under your washing machine. It's going to clean approximately ½ an inch to a centimetre or two of the dirt. It will actually suck it into the nozzle. I'm going to clean the rest of this up. I'm going to see what it's like on maximum suction, just to see if it copes okay. It was harder to push, it's just left of it there, it was harder to push on maximum, so for my particular situation I think reduced suction would be better. It's still picking it up, even with the suction slightly reduced using the slide control on the handle. But everything is still being picked up, so I'm quite happy with the performance. It's just a little bit awkward, this nozzle. As I say, if you go like that, if you need to bend down, the whole front of the nozzle lifts up. You'll need to do that to pick up larger debris, because this nozzle, like many other hard floor nozzles, will snow plough, what we call snow ploughing. So larger debris, for example, breakfast cereal or cat litter, you might find it just pushes it in front of the nozzle. To remove it, you will need to tilt the machine back and suck the debris into the cleaner. Because the Vax Air Revolve will sit on a standard stair, it does make stair cleaning a little bit more convenient than some vacuum cleaners. It's still not perfect though for cleaning stairs, but it is doable. As you see, I've got it on a step here, so you can clean the rest of the stairs, but you'd have to move the machine up slightly because the hose is pretty short. You'd have to continually lift it onto each step. Now you can use this nozzle if you want to for stairs, but I prefer to use the power head because you can actually fit it directly to the handle. So now you have a very effective cleaner for your stairs. If you've only cleaned your stairs with, say, a small handheld cleaner or a suction cleaner, you might find a lot of dirt pulled out of the carpet on your stair if you use a power nozzle. So it is possible, as I say, to clean the stairs with the power nozzle like this. And move on up. You can actually carry the machine as you're going. If you're strong enough, you can hold the machine in your strongest arm and use your other arm to direct the nozzle. And of course, once you've done the main area, you can use the crevice tool to do around the edges and the dusting tool to do any wooden areas at the side of the stairs. So, I'm not really sure what rating I would give it for stair cleaning. It's okay, but it is still very clunky. That is the word du jour for this vacuum cleaner. Clunky and awkward. Anyway, it's okay for stairs, but there are more convenient cleaners out there. Well, that's nearly the end of my demonstration of the Vax Air Revolve Pet. Before I sum up this cleaner, let's see how effective the automatic flex rewind is. Slow and steady, but it got there in the end. Okay then, to sum up. I can't fault the carpet cleaning ability of this machine. It does get a well-deserved A rating for carpet cleaning performance, and on hard floors with both nozzles, with the power nozzle turned off and the hard floor nozzle, it did a very good job. What it's bad at is keeping the filters clean. You will have to clean the filters quite often when you're using this machine. Obviously, I did an extreme test, so the filters did get dirty much quicker than they would in a normal situation, but they will get dirty. The main bugbear of this vacuum cleaner is the convenience aspect. The hose, to me, is at least 3 feet too short. It needs a longer hose. Vax need to rethink the cleaning tools. They are big and clunky. Also, despite the fact it's a multi-orientation cylinder, and despite the fact it has 2 large rear wheels, it doesn't pull along very easily. Let's take off the power head. Now, you can hear a scraping noise. The wheels just scrape along. It's just very awkward and clunky to use. Now, it is a bit more convenient, in my experience, to use it in this position. So you can clean the room and it will swivel all around in order to get the room clean. It wouldn't work in a very large room. You're still going to have to pick it up and move it around. Or I found myself, when I've been using this machine, it's easier for me just to carry it and then direct the power nozzle. Now, onto the power nozzle, it does a very good job, but it's not very well articulated. My major concern with the power head is it won't stay flat to the floor if you want to angle it downwards. So it's okay when you're using it like this on your carpets, but as soon as you want to go under low furniture, well, it will go partly under low furniture. But if you want to go further, you have to tilt and twist the extension wand so you can reach further under a chair. Now, that's much better than most upright cleaners. You'll not get an upright as far under a chair as that. But as soon as you put the handle down flat, in order to get that little bit further, you'll see that the front of the nozzle tips up. So Vax need to rethink the articulation of this nozzle. They need to make it so you can go flat to the floor like this without the nozzle tipping up. It's a good nozzle when you're cleaning large areas of carpet, but as soon as you want to manoeuvre it around obstacles or under furniture, it's just far too clunky and awkward to use. Well, that's just about the end of my demonstration of the Vax Air Revolve Pet. Would I recommend it? Well, no, not really. Although it performs very well on carpets and hard floors, there are just too many drawbacks for me to make this a recommended buy. It performs well, as I said, but it's got convenience drawbacks that I just can't overlook. The hose is far too short. It could do with being at least 3 feet longer. The whole tool setup, they're just far too big and heavy and clunky. The power head, although performing very well, they need to sort out the articulation so it manoeuvres better around furniture and under furniture. Also, the filtration is pretty poor. Although this gets an A rating for dust emissions, the filters get very dirty very quickly. So you'll find you're having to constantly clean them in order to maintain the performance of this vacuum. So all in all, I commend Vax for a rather funky looking vacuum cleaner, although this design isn't exactly brand new. As you'll see if you search GE Roll Easy on the internet, you'll see that many years ago a very similar concept was introduced, a cleaner similar shape to this with 2 large wheels on either side, although that was of course a bagged cleaner. But all in all, yes, it's a nice design, good performance, but for convenience and using it as your day-to-day vacuum cleaner, there are far more better models around that I would recommend above this Vax. I hope you find this video interesting and useful. If you have, please subscribe and you'll be updated every time I upload a new floor care video. Also check my back catalogue. I've got hundreds of other videos on various floor care appliances. And don't forget, thumbs up. And if you've got any comments or questions about this machine, please ask in the comments section below. So until the next time, thanks for watching and goodbye.